the first question, I want you to read the question here, right there, and I want you to tell me in the chat box, what is it that we are trying to solve for? And a few more moments here, really give it some good thought. So to complete a full lap along the edge, what is the total distance he covers? So everybody, think about it. Think about it. If we're trying to do a full lap along the edge or around the border, what are we trying to calculate here, especially if we're talking about a circular track? So we can draw that here. I got you. So if we have, let's say, a circular track and we're trying to jog one lap around this circular track, does that sound like we're trying to find the radius, diameter, circumference, or area? Which of those four does it sound like we're trying to solve for? Yeah, and the correct answer here is going to be circumference. The correct answer is circumference. The reason, again, my party people, is that if you're thinking perimeter and you're wondering, why didn't coach say perimeter? Remember that perimeter and circumference are the same thing. Circumference is just specific to circles, but it's the same premise. We're just trying to find the distance around the shape, around the circle in this case. So my party people, even if we made a little mistake, it's all good. Remember that mistakes are going to happen. How we respond to those mistakes and how we really recover and asking why we got it wrong and what we were supposed to do, that's really all we need to do. We need to do there, and we can move forward. So with that, now that we can interpret that we are trying to find the circumference, everybody, how many formulas are there for circumference again? How many formulas? 1, 2, 9, 12, how many? Yeah, there are two. Now, follow up, which one of them should we use here? Which one of them should we use here? The one that uses radius or the one that uses diameter? Which one should we use? Yeah, correct. The one that uses the diameter. Right here, check it out. It says the track has a diameter of 50 meters. So right there, the diameter is 50 meters. So now that we know that we are looking for the circumference, and we know that we are given the diameter, everybody, does that make it a lot easier to point out which formula we're supposed to be using? Oh, yeah, right? And that's the difference between starting from the very beginning up here and then letting that anxiety and that lack of confidence lead you to assume certain things. That's the difference between that and having a calm, cool, and collected presence here saying, okay, one full lap, so we're going around along the edge. Okay, that's circumference. Total distance, that's circumference. Now I got two formulas. I see diameter right there. Perfect. So I know that I'm using this formula. And all I have to do now is replace the diameter with the 50 that I have right there. And boom. And that's the difference. That's where that confidence can come in, everybody. But there's one thing that we're forgetting. What is the one thing that we're forgetting here, my party people? What's the one thing we have to do that we haven't quite done yet? Yeah, notice. My party people, did they say leave pi as pi? Did they say that here? No, they didn't say leave pi as pi. Not at all. Also, do you see pi in the answer choices? No, we don't see pi in the answer choices either. So that should be your clue, right? Even though we don't see them say, hey, use 3.14 as pi, even though they don't say that, we can interpret that because we see that our answers don't include pi. So that should be your giveaway that, yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and approximate pi as 3.14, and I'll multiply the 50 by it. With that said, are we ready to have me calculate with the 3.14 and move on to the next one? Sweet. Let's give it a shot here. So this is going to be a nice little refresher on dealing with decimals and multiplication. So we are going to do 3.14, and we're going to be multiplying that by 50. So here's a quick refresher on multiplying by decimals, everybody. Number one, when we multiply, we're just going to ignore the decimal. Just multiply like normal. Ignore the decimal. Just multiply like normal. And then number two, once you're all done, at the end, we'll bring the decimals back. We will bring the decimals back. So let's go ahead and tackle this step by step, and I got you. So step one, let's multiply. First thing I'll do is I'm going to highlight this in blue because I'm going to take care of the 0 first. So 4 times 0, that's going to be 0. 1 times 0, that's going to be 0. 3 times 0, that's going to be 0. Look at that. Look at that. That was the hardest multiplication I've done probably all day long. So with that, here we go to the next. We are going to now move over to the 5. And so that means we need to start on the second place value right here. So with that, here we go. We are going to have 5 times 4, and that's going to be 20. And I'll carry that too. Next, we're going to have 1 times 5, which is 5, carrying the 2, and that's going to give us 7. Next up, my party people, we now have 3 times 5, and that's going to be 15. And there we are. Now, we'll just add those two rows together, and we're good to go. So 0 plus 0, 0 plus 0 again, 0 plus 7, then the 5, and the 1. So that was step one. Again, just multiply like normal. We did that. Step two, we're going to bring the decimals back. Everybody, how many total decimal places are we bringing back? If you said 2, that is correct because we have a total of 2 decimal places. Up here on the first number, we have 1, 2. On the bottom number over here, we only have, well, nothing. With the decimals right there, there's no movement. So again, it's going to be a total of 2. 1, 2, giving us a total distance around that lap, that circular track as 157 meters. And that's what makes the correct answer here, A, approximately 157 meters. And there we are, my party people. There we are. Notice how once we know what we need to calculate and the numbers we need to use with it, that's it. It's just a matter of plugging and chugging from that point moving forward. So I'm going to just remind you and just help you really get into this again by saying that the most important part of any word problem is understanding the goal of the problem first, and then number 2, the information you have. What do we want? What do we have? And that's how we'll build that connection in terms of the formula we need to use and then the calculation after the fact. So with that, my party people, if you're asking, hey, 3.14, is that what we always use for pi? Correct. If they tell us, hey, we are going to approximate pi, they'll typically give you 3.14. But if they don't give you anything at all and they just say, hey, just approximate the circumference, still 3.14 is the safest bet. Anything other than 3.14, they will let you know. But 3.14 is the standard approximation for pi across most standardized tests. So with that said, my party people, how are we feeling about this first one? More, particularly speaking, how are we feeling about understanding that, hey, talking about a circle, going along the edge, hey, that's circumference. How comfortable were you with recognizing the words and turning that into the math idea? Not very good, feeling so-so about it? No worries, I got you. Let's go ahead and kick it forward here. Let's try another practice problem out because we all know that we're just here to get one problem better